YouTube, back on another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down some quick steps on how life insurance agency owners can actually scale and some of the reasons that they're not scaling. Guys, I'm actually hopping into having these Loom videos. They're almost like master classes where I'm just offering deep insights into what's actually working for business owners that we're meeting with and what's not working for them, as well as like what I've been experiencing in my business, what bottlenecks or issues that I'm running into, and basically what I'm learning about business now. A lot of the videos I have that are talking about how to generate leads and how to kind of do the baseline infrastructure stuff that either you would need to know how to do or your individual agents. I have a ton of those and I'll still be making those here and there, but a lot of my videos really more or less are about business and like how to actually help you make money and the mindset hacks that are necessary to take you from like where you're at to where you're trying to go. The biggest thing I've learned, like I said, we made $1 million in 10 months in my first year in business and I learned a lot. And now we're at the point now where we're scaling past that and we're continuing to learn new insights. And I just want to offer them to you guys, like I said, free of charge, just a way for you all to learn more about what we're doing. So please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hop straight into it. All right. Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the number one reason why life insurance agencies owners cannot scale. I'm going to be breaking this down in great detail. So please pay attention. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them below. We're going to hop straight into it. I'm going to give you guys kind of the overall sauce of what we've been doing for the individual agents and agency owners that we have been working with and what has been working, as well as reasons why I know that life insurance agencies cannot scale. All right. So number one, my thesis today, the thought process, the mindset that I am to break down is this. The mindset of agency owners that cannot scale is still of a 1099 worker and not a business owner. The biggest bottleneck is themselves. So literally what I mean by that is a lot of individuals who I meet with, people that are looking to actually grow their business in whatever way possible, right? They are being blocked by their own understanding of how growing a business actually works. When you're a 1099 worker, when you go out and you actually sit down with people, you're the one that's calling and booking the appointments. You're the one that's paying for the leads. You're the one that's prospecting all the clients by yourself. You're either going to their house or you are booking your own appointments and you're working virtually. You cannot afford yourself mentally the mindset to know exactly what it's like to be on the outside of the business because you're so far in it, right? And what that means is a lot of individuals who are looking to grow run into this problem because they don't look at business from the owner standpoint. They look at it from the employee standpoint. When you're a 1099, a lot of people like to say, oh, I'm self-employed. I have my own business, right? But when you think about it, until you have other employees underneath of you, until you're actually creating systems for other people to make money and for you to be able to take yourself out, you're not really a business owner, right? And the biggest bottleneck is yourself. And that's what we're going to be talking about in great detail today, because unless you fully understand that concept, everything that I'm about to say is not going to make sense. Because when you're so far in a business, it's hard for you to look at different areas that you could grow or have a perspective outside that where you're so attached to the end goal and the outcome, which you should be as the 1099 worker, right? As a self-employed person, but as a business owner, you should not, right? And this stops individual agents who are really successful from growing because they cannot take themselves out of the mental framework of being a self-employed worker and actually being a business owner, which an agency owner is a business owner, right? But a lot of times, a lot of these agency owners or the dreams that they have, they think that they can just be self-employed individuals with that same mindset and still scale. That's not how it works, right? So the first thing is you must change your mind about how you view your business, right? What this means is you need to have vision, right? A lot of individuals lack clarity on their goals, meaning that a lot of times they're like, hey, I just want to grow this really big business. Hey, I'm just going to go recruit and throw stuff against the wall. And while that may work at first, when you're really at the point where you're trying to scale, that is not going to work because you do not have proper clarity on exactly the direction that you're going. You don't have a set vision. You don't say, hey, I want to have 50 agents doing this by this. If you set that and you set a time frame for which that needs to be done, that does not mean that you need to be rigid, but that does mean that you need to have an intense focus on how to actually get there. What I've seen with individuals that do that is that they can put all their effort into segmenting specific goals based on where they're at. So they say, hey, I want my personal production to be at 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. And then I'm going to take and allocate some of those funds and invest into recruiting. I'm going to take and allocate some of those funds to invest into systems, right? Unless you have proper clarity on goals, you're literally just running at a wall with nothing. And I think of myself as when I was an agent, that's all I was doing. I was just running and gunning with no goals, making a lot of money, but spending a lot of money, not being able to track things properly, learning how to close and how to sell, but not how to build a business, right? So you need to have proper clarity on the goals. Number two two, because you don't understand where you're going and how you get there, you don't actually know what it takes, right? So a lot of times you'll say, hey, I want to get 50 agents, right? I want to have this much. So you're really good at that part, but you don't actually understand what it takes to get there. It takes investment. It takes risk. It's not going to be able to take the same things that you've been doing or that other people are doing, right? Part two is being an agency owner is not a 1099 contractor. You're moving into a business model requires a different set of skills. So in order to change from where you're at to where you're trying to go, the only difference is skills. What you do not know is holding you back. And not only what you do not know, but what you do not know how to do is also holding you back. So it's a double-edged sword, right? So number one is team managing. If you don't know how to manage and grow a team or how to set clear expectations and motivate people, right, then you need to buy books. You need to immerse yourself in how to become a better leader. If you can figure out how to become a better leader, then you can grow. That is a skill. Being a good team leader, learning leadership is a skill, right? Number two is building systems. So I'm a big proponent of this. It's what we do with clients, right? We don't teach you how to manage your team of life insurance agents, but building systems is crucial. Whether it's with our company, whether it's with another, you need to learn how to build a system, right? Whether that's a CRM, you need to own your CRM. Whether that's a lead gen, you need to own your own lead gen. You should learn how to generate leads or pay somebody to do it for you, but not buy from a lead. And I talk about this in numerous videos. You need to figure out how to set appointments, not necessarily for yourself, but meaning how you can create an infrastructure for that. You need to have a specific sales department. So you should be training specific people on how to sell, whether that's hiring people and you have appointment setters and closers. You need to have a department that specifically handles that. You need to have an admin. So who's going to handle people that get onboarded? Who's going to walk people from point A to point Z? That is an admin. From there, you need to have client retention, meaning you need to have a system set up for when you do actually get somebody to sign up for a policy. What's the follow-up process, right? Who's going to contact them in case they fall off the books or their payment fails or they get a chargeback, whatever it is. You should have a system for that. And then you should also have a system for training and SOP. I think number 7, number 2, number 3, and number 1 are the most important. And then after that, I would say 4, 5, and 6. The reason why I would say 7, I said 7 first, is because without proper training and SOPs, nothing else matters. The CRM doesn't matter, the lead gen doesn't matter, and the appointment center doesn't matter, right? You can't develop a sales department without SOPs and training. You can't have an admin because you can't actually hire somebody unless you can teach them the systems that go, or the standard operating procedures that go into being an admin. And you can't have client retention. There's no point in having client retention if you're not getting any sales, right? So you need to have a proper training for sales. It needs to be yours, because what's made you successful, you can duplicate. So you should be able to take what you've done and put it into something that you can give, an asset that you can give to somebody that they can actually leverage to then go out and recreate success for themselves. Are they going to be exactly like you? No. But if you can create some sort of simple framework, you're going to help another individual grow in the same way that you did. You can. Now, yes, you can hop on Zoom, and I'm not saying that you don't do one-on-one meetings, but what I am saying is that you need to have something you can give them that they can consume on their own. Because otherwise, they're going to go still consume something. You just don't know what that is. It may be other trainings. And then what happens is you have a bunch of really good agents, but you don't have an actual set of systems, right? There's an individual, his name's Josh Williams. He did a wonderful job at doing that, right? Knockout agencies. Literally, he revamped the life insurance industry from a telesales standpoint. And it literally was just because of his training and SOPs. He literally changed the entire wave of how virtual sales, one call close, all that was set up. He had his own script. He modeled that and created a system, right? Duplicatable. And then everybody in his ecosystem started using that. That's what you need to do. You need to have that level of commitment to it, right? The last thing a lot of people don't really pay attention to is, like, you got to take risks. If you're trying to actually grow a business, if you're not trying to be a 1099 worker and, oh yeah, I'm going to be super calculated here. I'm not saying to be ignorant. I'm not saying to go out and just spend money, but in a dumb way. But I am saying that you need to take a portion of whatever you have. You need to have a risk savings account specifically set up for, hey, I'm going to go spend some money and invest into this, right? Whether it's 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, you need to have that, because without it, you're going to, once again, be so attached to it. Not a business owner. Business owners are not attached to money in the way that self-employed people are, right? In order for you to shift your mindset and actually grow your agency, you have to get out of that 1099 mindset. And that's why we started here, right? So I hope all this made sense, y'all. I have a free 3-step training where I go in more depth, basically on a lot of these, specifically CRM, lead gen, appointment setting, and a little bit into training and SOP. The link in that will be below. It's completely free. So you definitely want to check it out. It's a lot longer than this. It's about 30 minutes where I'm really taking the time and going through like how we help clients really set all this up specifically for life insurance agency owners. So definitely go check that out. But once again, the most important thing I want you all to take away from this is, like, you have to shift your mindset. Everything I'm saying makes sense, but I only learned it because I shift my mindset. I only went from a 1099 worker, right? I went from an employee, 9 to 5. I went to a 1099 worker. And then from there, from 1099, I went to kind of start my own business, but I was very involved in it, right? I took myself out of the business after making $1 million in 10 months. I said, okay, cool. I made $1 million in 10 months, but I was doing a lot of work. Now it's time for me to scale, figure out how I can actually take myself out of this and grow, right? We took a few steps back, and that's okay, because now as we grow and go past that number, I'm going to actually be outside of the business, not in it, right? And that is really how you can have a business that you you can sell. You have an asset that you own, right? That's how you scale. So I'm using the same exact analogy. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. I just meet with life insurance agents that are in the same bottleneck that I was in, right? The systems don't change. This thought process applies for anybody in any industry. So it's all about understanding, how do you actually scale your business? How do you actually grow a profitable system for how life insurance owners specifically can scale? And this is the way. This is the blueprint, right? So if you need more details and you're trying to figure out like, hey, how do I grow my life insurance agency? Once again, I have a free training. You can literally click below. It's 30 minutes. I'm going to be giving you all the sauce in very further depth. Just click the link below and you can hop straight in that. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, as always, drop them below. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.